Hi everyone, welcome back to episode 6 of the designer series with the Social Rose. Today we're going to be designing an organic, very free, oblong bridal bouquet. I'm using some roses, white roses. They're called Playa Blanca. Sweet Eskimo, which is our blush pink rose, and Amnesia, which is our mauve. We've got white Lysianthus, purple Veronica, lavender spray roses, and our purple clematis. We've got a beautiful array of greenery here from camellia leaves, seeded eucalyptus, New Zealand pittosporum, salal, Italian ruscus, and some smilex. So we're going to be integrating a lot of greenery and texture into this particular bouquet because we want it to be very open and very free looking. So there's two ways we can finish off our bouquet, one of which is by taping it. So I'm going to pre-cut my tape before we start. Another technique that I like to use for this very organic bouquet is going to be to tie it off with an elastic, and I will show you that at the end. So first we're going to start off with some greenery in the center with some New Zealand pit. Again, we're always working in a spiral motion and working around our bouquet, but this is going to have a very distinctive sideward moving motion, and the flowers in the center are going to face forward. And my stem heights are going to be very exaggerated. And I'm going to still continue inserting my stems in a spiral fashion, but in the opposite direction. And right now, the stems are going to be a little difficult to hold together, but the more and more I add stems into this bouquet, the easier it will become for them to stay exactly where you put them. What I want you to remember is, because this is an organic style, we want it to be very free-flowing and natural. So nothing should be at the same height in terms of your roses and your flowers. Next, I'm going to put some Veronica because I want to give my linear shape immediately. Based on the length that you're trying to go, you want to give your bouquet that volume. Spin it around here. I just love using Italian ruscus and very organic style bouquets because it's very delicate and still very free looking. So we've got a really nice framework moving here. And you're going to see the layers of the roses and of the other flowers build slowly. It's going to be a lot easier to hold my bouquet and my stems in place because we've added quite a few together now. Now I'm going to add some clematis, I want the clematis to extend across the sides of the bouquet and cascade on either side. I love the way the little clematis blooms pop out of our greenery and have that little hint of purple. Now I'm going to start building with my roses, and I'm going to use some spray roses. These are Lucky Lavender. And as you can see with the way I'm inserting the stems into the bundle that I'm holding, I'm not necessarily always working from the outside of my structure as I would with a normal spiral layered style bouquet. So far, I like using the ivory together with the colors of the mauve and the purple because we're balancing the color and we're softening it with the ivory. And again, when you're putting your flowers into different layers, it gives you dimension. And you can see the first few roses that we started building with on the onset of our bouquet making are really deep inside the bouquet, and that's a good thing. I want that color to come through below the layers that I'm building on top. Your bouquet should always be moving around. You always want to be looking at it from different angles. You don't always want to be holding it at the same position, because then you're not going to be able to see if you're filling in your bouquet properly. And I want a little bit of pink in here, so I'm going to put a blush rose right in there. And the blush plays off both the ivory and the mauve really beautifully. These colors work together really nicely. And now I'm going to add a little bit more texture and incorporate another layer of foliage. And I'm using the New Zealand pit to give a delicate texture. I don't want to hide the New Zealand pit. I want it to come forward in our bouquet. I want to share that texture. As you're inserting your stems, you're going to want to work your way through, ensuring that you're not disturbing the position of the other flowers, but you're still getting a solid, good framework. And as you can see, it's got really good structural integrity and it's looking oblong. To finish off the ends, I like to incorporate a little bit of Smilex. Now the Smilex is a vine, so it does have a lot of breaks on it. And you will have to, unfortunately, cut off some of these beautiful breaks in order to be able to insert it properly where you need it within the bouquet. And this is just trial and error to see what length you need it. So we've got really beautiful movement with our vines on the sides of the bouquet here, as you can see. Now, when you're making a piece like this, you need to make sure to communicate with your client that pieces that are organic like this tend to be quite large in size, and your client might not be aware of how many actual stems go into a bouquet of this magnitude. So it can tend to get quite heavy. And you want to inform the bride that there are lots of flowers and she's going to be carrying this, you know, for the better part of the day. So you want to just let them know in advance. I'm just going to check the bouquet out from all the different angles and make sure that I'm happy with the composition and the position of everything. And I'm just gonna adjust ever so slightly. Now for bouquet work, I like to cut all of the breaks off of the Lisianthus and use it as a single bloom. And I'm being very delicate with the insertions of my Lisianthus to make sure that I'm not snapping the stem. So I'm really happy with the overall composition. I feel like my bouquet is balanced. It's got a beautiful use of all the different colors in a balanced way. And I'm just looking around my bouquet and I feel like I've covered my mechanics. So one technique we can use if you don't want to use the tape, which is a more traditional way to tie, which is still very secure and very functional. You would tie your tape around the waist of the bouquet, which is the slenderest part where all the stems meet. For this style, I tend to like to use an elastic. You take the elastic and you pull it through as high up as you can go around a few stems, and you pull it around your bouquet and then pull it back over some of the strong stems here. And just move your elastic up a little bit higher, and then you have a beautiful stronghold on your bridal bouquet. And there you have it, this beautifully organically styled hand-tied bouquet. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of the Social Rose Designer Series. We hope you enjoyed watching this hand-tied organically styled bouquet come together. Don't forget to leave your comments and questions below because we'd love to hear from you. See you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can stay tuned for the next episode. Hi everyone, welcome back to designer series with the Social Rose. Isn't that what you wanted to hear?
No, the other way.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us on the designer series with the Social Rose and enjoyed watching this episode of the designer series. Again, I did it. I hope you enjoyed watching this series with the Social Rose designer. Oh, last one, come on.